if you're going to Coachella, or if you know people who are going to Coachella, there's a space called the Everyone Space. I'm really fortunate to be a small part of the Everyone team, a Q plus space for queer identifying individuals, an A plus space for folks with accessibility needs. And they're places where everyone can go and find community, drink water, get shade, have quiet. But we also have licensed clinicians at the festival who are going out into the field, into the festival to respond to people in crisis. If you're overdosing, if you're too drunk, if you unfortunately are assaulted, if you're going through whatever shit happens at a festival, there are people there to help you. There's a space to go to find reprieve and find care and find community. I feel like not enough people know about it. It's a great initiative, and it's Coachella's inclusion and wellness initiative.
1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, besties? Welcome back to another episode of IEM Besties. I'm Steph, and I'm here with Vanessa, and I'm here with a very, very special guest. Guys, don't get jealous.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yes, but we brought on our first ever fan. Woo! This is Johnathon. Johnathon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
And tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Garcia. Pronouns are he, him. I do a couple things. I work in diversity and inclusion at Discord right now.
Ooh.
I'm also a grad student at Stanford. Do some work on the side with Coachella. Try to stay busy. But maybe most importantly, unequivocally, it's me. I'm the number one fan of IEM Besties. Number one.
You guys, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to have to believe it because let me tell you the story of how it happened that Johnathon is on the show, you guys. Literally, I was just driving home one day and my sister-in-law calls me, my son's only aunt, and she's like, I have this friend, follow him on IG, and he posted a picture of you, the merch that you guys have, and she was like, I'm shook, like what the heck, like he listens to Besties. So she said that she just messaged him, they got onto talking, and she was reaching out to me to put in a word for Johnathon because he posted the merch and he posted that he loved Besties and that he wanted to be on. And then I was like looking at his IG and I saw that Steph already followed him, so I was like, okay, let me call Steph, see what's going on. And then
my friend, a very, very close friend of mine, shout out to Dean.
Shout out to Dean.
Yeah. He messaged me and he was like, hey, dude, my homie, he's super cool. He has an amazing story. Like, he would, like, you guys should have him on. And honestly, I very much trust Dean's opinion.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? Let me talk to the team. And then I did. And then Vanessa called me in the exact moment that I thought, I'm going to call Vanessa. And then our periods synced together.
yes.
And we connected spiritually.
They really did.
And it just, everything aligned. And now here we are.
And here we are. So I feel like that's awesome. I feel like it was meant to be. We're happy to have you.
I want to ask, what exactly is it that you do at Discord? Like, what does the job entail?
So it's for the Inclusion, Diversity, and Purpose Department, which is like diversity and inclusion. People call it like diversity and inclusion at other companies, or diversity, equity, and inclusion, things like that.
Oh, okay.
And it entails a lot. I mean, mostly it's about advising the business, both internally and externally, to be as inclusive and equitable as possible. So particularly like for our staff, for historically marginalized folks, so like Black folks, Latinx folks, women, people who don't identify in their gender binary, people with disabilities, people who identify as queer. I run all the programs for internal Discord like groups like that. So like, if like you're at a school or a college, or even like high school, there's like the Black Student Union, like the Queer Straight Alliance, whatever. There's groups like that called ERGs, Employee Resource Groups, at companies. And they have like a budget. They have like someone who does like the whatever job, but they also volunteer to lead the group. They have a budget, they run events, whatever. That happens at a lot of big companies. I run that whole program. So I oversee that for everyone. I'm making sure that like people have their budget, people have their like clearance, people are hosting events, people are collaborating with each other, hosting educational events, hosting fun events.
Wow.
So that's like internally, as well as helping our recruiting team, like making sure we're hiring a diverse workforce. And then externally, because Discord is like a product, right? People use it in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Helping advise the business to be like, hey, like, who are we partnering with? Like, what celebrities are we partnering with? What are we saying externally in like big moments? Where are we donating all the money that we make? Like, how can we be impactful in the world? So it's kind of like really across like the business. I have to kind of hop into different like teams or work streams and kind of just add like my opinion on like, hey, like we shouldn't do that, or like, hey, like we should be doing this. So that's what I do for Discord.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how did you because I noticed that you pretty much from the start you've been, I guess, involved with things having to do with like diversity and inclusivity and all that. How did you kind of I guess
start getting into that
field?
Yeah. I think about like the work my dad does. My dad, he just retired. I guess not just retired like 5 years ago or so.
Okay.
He was a butcher at Ralph's grocery store for like 35 years, something ridiculous like that. But he was also the union lead.
Okay.
So he was like the head of his union. And I remember like being really young and like going with him to union meetings. I remember being on like the picket line, like on strike with him or whatnot. And I remember like just on a regular day walking into the store with him and like everyone knew him. Like he'd walk in, people be like, Eddie, or like, hey, what's up? Or like, oh, like, or people would come up to him and be like, hey, like I have this issue, or like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, this is amazing. Like I want to do that. Like people just like respected him like so much. His relationship building skills were like so important. And like even though he was like a butcher, like it felt like his job was like to connect with people and help people.
Help his community.
And so like I've always thought that was really important. I didn't really think about that in terms of a career. I started doing, the first thing I ever wanted to do was journalism, and I started doing music journalism like right out of high school. I had an internship with Apple Music doing like music journalism and stuff like that. Wow. And then I kind of was like, I'm kind of off this, and I didn't really know like why. But as I progressed to my undergraduate and college, like I think a lot of people who start going to school with, I started to look at things a little differently, started taking different classes, and I was like, oh, like I love music and I love writing about culture, but I'd rather like have an impact on something larger, which is around things around like race particularly. All like social justice, but particularly race is something I've always been interested in. And I also just feel like I'm a product of good fortune because the field that I'm in now, diversity and inclusion, it's like a fairly new field.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was where I'm at 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like I wouldn't really have a job. But like it just so happened that like I think with the rise of social media and with the rise of a lot of different racial reckonings in our country, at the same time as I'm going to school and learning about these things, like this field started to emerge and open up. And so I was able to really fall into it and start doing different work at different nonprofits in the racial justice space. And yeah, and just kind of kept doing my best to climb the ladder and do different things. So
wow, that's amazing.
I love that.
No, me too. Seriously, that's such an incredible story, especially because I mean, you just have so much experience in all of that. You know what I mean? Like when I was looking at are your I like saying credentials because it sounds official, but you know what I mean? Like I was just like, wow, like because I think as far as age, I always assume that there's just not enough time for anything. And seeing how much you've done in such, you know, short amount of time, like it's really, really incredible. Yeah. And I feel like it gives a lot of kind of, I guess, hope because I kept being in the mentality of like, oh, well, like I'm already 26, like I guess I just have to settle for something or whatever. And so honestly, when you showed the post, when I saw the post of you getting into Stanford, it was really, really motivational. Especially because in the moment I was kind of going through like a thought process where I was like, I need to get myself together. Like I need to figure something out. I need to have like specific goals and whatever. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, like that's so cool. Because I don't know if you read his caption.
Yeah. You're from Fontana, right?
Yeah.
You grew up here.
Yeah.
Whole life. You still live here?
No, I live in San Francisco now. But I'm here all the time. My dad still lives here. I try to visit him like once a month or once every other month just to like check in, and like all my family is still here. My most of my best friends are from Fontana from high school or before that. So I'm always here. And I mean, people think that drive is long. It's like 6-7 hours, but I do that in a heartbeat. Like I'm down here in a second.
And I read there that you, when you were coming out of high school, you got rejected from your universities that you applied for.
Every single one, yeah.
And how was that? How'd you feel in that moment?
It was devastating.
Yeah.
That's like maybe like that's like the hardest time of like my entire life. Like that was such a difficult time and difficult year. I was a senior in high school, and like I think I'm pretty smart. But in high school particularly, it wasn't until like late that I was like, oh, I need to like get good grades. Like I'd be like, I'm gonna get an A on a test. I'm not gonna do homework. I'm on the basketball team. I have a girlfriend. I'm like running around my neighborhood, blah blah blah. It's like it's fine. Like it's not doing anything crazy, but just being like I'm outside. Like, who cares?
For sure.
So I had like
we support crazy if you were.
I appreciate it. But also I'm not like people who know me watch this and be like, you were not that. You know what I mean? Like, but I just was like spending my time not doing homework. I was just like, I don't need to, like whatever. And it wasn't until later in like junior, senior year that I was like, oh, I need to get these grades because I'm trying to go to a good school. But like I had like I don't know, like 3.3, 3.4 GPA. I had really high test scores. I think I'm a good writer, so I think I had a good personal statement. And I remember every single college I applied to: UC Berkeley, St. John's, Pepperdine, Cal State Long Beach, UCR.
Suck a dick.
All these universities, some of which were like UC Irvine, some of which was like I'm not gonna get in, but the vast majority I was like, oh, I'm in the like large percentile of folks to get in, and I got denied to every single one, and it was tough because like, you watch your peers or your friends, like it's that time when people are getting in, and I like every day would pass, and I'm like when am I gonna like get in? And like I was really happy and still I'm really happy for like my peers and friends, but I was like, yo, like what's going on? And so that was difficult. And then I didn't get into any of the colleges that I applied to. But my high school teacher, who's like my mom now, Joe Shelley, now Joe Sisk, recently remarried. She's the assistant principal at Fontana High School now.
Okay.
She was like, I have a connection at Laverne. I can get you in. I was like, bet, for sure. So I get into Laverne. I didn't even apply. Okay. Get into Laverne.
Love.
And at that time, my family was getting evicted from their home.
Oh, wow.
So like it was like a tumultuous time, and like we didn't really like have the money, and like at that time, and I think this is an experience for a lot of people from here. Like I have no idea how financial aid works. I'm just like I don't know. I had the grades. Like I'm trying to get in, whatever. And like my parents couldn't sign for a loan because like we were gonna get evicted and the credit's not good, whatever. And I'm at orientation at Laverne. Like it's like Sunday orientation classes start Monday, and I'm going to the orientation activities. I have a schedule, and at the end of the day, they call me in the financial aid office, being like, "You can't go here." And I sat on the bench at Laverne and sobbed, like cried. I was like, I'm really not gonna go to school.
Yeah.
So, didn't go to school that year. Joe Shelley, who I mentioned, hired me at Fontana High School as a college tutor for the AVID program. Okay. But you need to be in college. Like it's that whole point is like I'm a college student and I'm gonna help you. But I wasn't in college, but she believed in me so much. She was like, "Who cares? Like you can still do this."
Love that.
Which was nice because I needed money because we were like homeless. Which also like there's a lot of people from where we're from that like go through temporary like homelessness and like there's people who really do that for a long time. That wasn't my experience. It was like I have to sleep in my car here and there. I have to sleep at our friend's house, but like. I always want to say that because like people really have a rough life. I've just had a pocket of roughness, I think. But went through that whole year working as an AVID tutor, and I was like, okay, I can either go to community college or I can wait a full year and keep my freshman eligibility and reapply again, like next year. Okay. And I love community colleges, nothing wrong with them, but I was like, I think I'm gonna wait. Okay. And like, because if I go to community college, I have to stay here for 2 years and then transfer. But like, if I wait, I can just reapply like I'm a freshman.
Right.
Okay.
So I worked throughout that year, and part of the job as an AVID tutor is to take the students on like college field trips. So we were going up to Northern California, which I had never been to at that time. And our first stop was Stanford. Ooh. And Stanford was like my dream school. Like I'm sure a lot of people.
Did you apply to that school?
No, I was like, at that time, I had nowhere near the grades or the resume to do it. But we got there, and we stopped by the Memorial Chapel. Sanford has like a beautiful, you can look it up, like a gorgeous, large, I think, Catholic memorial chapel. And we stopped by, we go inside. And I wasn't feeling like particularly emotional that day, really. Like, it was like a normal day. I was actually really happy to like be on the campus. And I sat down in one of the pews, and I don't know what, like, I really just, like, was emotional, started, like, weeping, like, hard. And I had a thought. I was like, I'm in this place and I'm so far from where I want to be. Like, this is where I want to be. And like, I'm not even in school.
Yeah.
And like, we don't even really have stable housing. And like, I have this like job that's like paying me, I don't even remember what it was, like $16 an hour. But like, I have so many big dreams and like, I'm so far, like what, like I want to be here. And it's pretty like cliche, but like, it really did happen this way. Like, I was really in that chapel and I was like, all right, no more. Like, I'm really like, I'm going to get everything I want. Like, I'm going to go crazy. Like, I don't care how long it takes. Like, I'm getting every internship. I'm getting every position I apply for. Like, I don't care about anything else, any relationship, any, like, I'm going to get back here. I don't care how long it takes me. You were really nice about saying like about my resume and things that I've done. I really like sacrifice. I was like, I'm getting every single thing I can possibly get so that by the time I'm ready to apply again, I can't be denied. Because like I ended up going to the Johnson Center for Integrative Studies at the University of Redlands for my undergraduate, but I didn't even apply there. Like, I kind of just fell into it, and it's a great school, and I'm so happy I went there. But when I applied to Stanford, I was like, I've never really applied to a school and got accepted. Like, it's like a big place of insecurity.
gosh.
So I was like, this is so important to me. And I want to be sure of like, nah, like no one can front on me. Like, my resume's too strong. Like, I've worked too hard.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got in. I go there now.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, dude. I was getting emotional.
Me too. I love that story because I feel like, you know, the resilience shows and you never gave up. You obviously had rough moments, you know, moments where you got emotional and you really felt like, fuck, what am I doing? But you really did the damn thing.
Thanks.
Look at you. Look at you right now. Like,
Thanks.
I'm so proud of you. Honestly, that's inspirational for me because I dropped out of university 3 years in and I was like, fuck, like, I just had 1 year left and I would have graduated. But I was like, I didn't want to waste my time and my money. And I always beat myself up about that to this day. And sometimes I think to myself, like, it's too late to go back,
Nah,
you know?
not.
And I'm like, bitch, just listening to you, I'm like, bitch, it's not too late, you know? I really just have to really just get clear on what I want, set the intention, and just work for it.
You're also on your own time, you know? Or like, what I say, like, I'm on God's time.
Love that.
Like, for real. So it's like, you like, especially once you get out of high school, like, everything is so regimented. It's like, I'm in elementary school for 5 years, middle school. And once you get out, it's like, there's no set timeline. Like, everyone does things differently. And like, people you might think, or like, they went to a pretty good school right away and like, whatever. Like, some of these people suck. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, and so it's like, you got to do it like your own way. Like, there's no like set path or whatever.
And I hope anybody that's listening right now, besties, I hope that this story inspires you. If you guys get rejected, if any of you guys listening are seniors, don't let it bring you down. You will come back stronger than ever.
Are you gonna go back?
Honestly, I told myself that I would if there was something that I felt like, okay, I'm really interested in this. Let me go back. But I haven't had that kind of, I guess, click yet. I don't want to go back just for the fuck of it, you know, because I don't trust that I'll fall through with it so I want to go back once I know that there's something that I really want to work towards, you know. But then again, people tell me just go back, you'll find something once you're there. So I don't know. I feel like I'm in between. And then I just think I have a son, you know. So it's a lot on my plate right now. So I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I'm ready to add that. But then again, I just think about my life. And then I'm like,
you're just going back and forth.
Literally, I feel like, you know, obviously I love the podcast and I hope that it grows. And if this becomes something that I can eventually live off of and it's super fun and I love doing it, that would be amazing. But at the same time, I mean, you never know. Shit happens. What if we quit next year and I get the show's done? Or
I decided I'm not gonna say stuff like that anymore. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Because I think I'm very negative and I feel like it's been attracting a lot of negativity.
That's real.
Yeah, so I've been trying very hard to, like, even at the gym, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this. Like, it's hard. But then I'm like, no, like, I'm just gonna stop saying I don't want to do this. Like, I can say it's hard, but I have to stop saying, like, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. Because it's fucking with my head.
It's so real.
Yeah.
It's like that, like, when that moment in that, like, memorial chapel, like, I think, like, language around, like, manifestation is more popular now. It wasn't back then, or at least maybe I'd never heard of it. But I, like, when that started coming around, like, people started talking about that, like, 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, oh, like, this is what I've been doing. Like I really like to a point where it
Yes.
was like, no, I am gonna do it. I am gonna get it. Like
Yeah.
I'd apply to something and be like, oh, like there's 300 applicants, and I'm like, oh,
I'm one of them.
I'm the best. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna, and if I don't get it, it's like cool. Like I'm
There's
gonna learn
something
something.
better.
I'm gonna like continue to like work at it. Like that manifestation shit is so real, and like you should be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you should be so kind to yourself.
I
Like
I
it's
tell her that all the
important.
time.
I know, and I'm trying.
And I have
I'm
noticed the
learning.
difference,
Yeah,
honestly.
like today, I've been having like mad. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I've been in a lot of sweaters. I've been having mad body dysmorphia, and so today I was at the gym and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take my sweater off. I'm gonna be in my sports
Love.
bar or whatever. And I wanted to literally crawl out of my skin, and in my head I was like, no, like you're gonna stay. Like you're gonna stay like this because it's uncomfortable, but you don't look the way you think you
Yeah.
look. Because in my head I was like, oh my gosh, like fucking fat, like whatever. And I was like, no, you're not. Like I literally was like in a battle with myself at the
Yeah.
gym of like, don't look in the mirror. No, look, because that's what you look like. Don't hate what you look like. Like
Yeah.
just learn to, I guess, accept it. And after a while, low key, I was just kind of like, okay, this is just who I am. Like I don't know why I'm like nitpicking so much because this is who I have to be with every single day. Like I'm literally just with myself. I have to
Yeah.
look at myself. I have to hang out with myself. So why am I sitting here like trying to talk shit about myself?
Why was I literally on the phone last night with someone talking about like how much like, I hate how I look and how I'm like fighting demons when it comes to how I look?
Yeah.
Is that a fucking Leo thing?
I don't know because
Bitch,
low
what
key.
the
Are you a Leo?
fuck? We're
Yeah,
both
we're both
Leos.
Leos.
I'm a Leo.
No way.
Yeah, it's
When-
meant
when's your
to
birthday?
be.
August
August 9th.
August 20th.
August 20th.
Shut the fuck up!
Fucking God.
Are you serious?
We're gonna have me back on the podcast. August 20th.
No.
Birthday podcast.
You're-
You have the best birthday.
We
Do you-
both do. Honestly, I'm
Incredible.
sorry. I love you, but I mean, it really
Second best
just
birthday.
is the best.
Come on, guys.
820. It's just like anytime I write it, I'm always like, I love how my
Yeah,
birthday
right.
looks. Yeah.
Dude, you know what's fucking insane? I actually just recently, I don't know what the fuck is up with this year. You're the third's a charm that I meet. Well, I haven't. The second person I didn't meet. Well, actually, I didn't meet either of them. But you're the
Oh
third
my
person
God.
now that I know of that has the same birthday as me. The first one was my mom's boyfriend's son. We're the same age and everything. Same birthday. I was like, what the fuck? And then the second guy, I was watching Love Island, and I was like,
Oh my
super,
God.
I was super attracted to one of the guys, and I was like, dude, this guy's so fucking hot. Like, and he kind of low key acts like the male version of me. I was like, let me see his sign. And so he was a Leo, and I was like, oh, babe. I was like, when's his birthday? Bitch, we have the same birthday. I was like, what?
Now
the
you're falling in love
fuck?
with yourself.
Right? That is such a Leo thing, honestly.
No, for real. The only person I know that has my birthday is my little brother.
Old.
My little brother has my
Wow.
birthday.
I love that for you.
I know, and he's my best friend in the whole world.
He's so
Aw.
cool. After the trip, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, your brother's dope.
Yeah, he's
I like
really,
your
really
brother.
cool.
I wish he would date my sister, but I know they're both taken.
He's
right now.
he's like madly in love with his
My sister's
girlfriend.
madly in love with her
I
boyfriend.
saw that. Good
She's
for her.
whipped.
It-
Pussy whipped.
It's their senior year.
Yeah.
It's their little.
They're both in high school, seniors. in high school?
Yeah.
Actually, no. My sister already graduated.
Oh, wait, I'm like,
Okay.
wait.
No, she's a year older.
Oh yeah, how old's your sister?
19.
Oh, okay, yeah. my
She's
brother.
gonna be 20 this year too.
Oh, so then she's 2 years. My little
Yeah.
brother's gonna be 18.
Are y'all both the oldest siblings?
I'm
No.
the middle child.
I'm the second oldest.
Okay, I'm the oldest.
Oh, nice. How many siblings did you say you
I have 3
had? 3. Okay. And they're brothers and sisters,
brothers. All brothers.
or? Wow, all boys.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you wanted a sister?
No, I mean like most of my friends are women.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I love that.
Honestly, like I'm always kind of just like around like women, so I don't think I have like a best friend. Her name's Lana. Shout out to Lana. Who is like I call my sister.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it's kind of like that anyway. But
Honestly, that's better. Having sisters is like I only have 3 sisters. We're all girls over here, so it's ass. I just like no, it's cool, but it has its like ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think when it's all one, I feel like there's this different dynamic
oh,
to when there's
100%. Like you.
Yeah,
a-
like I'm the only girl and I have 2 brothers.
Mm.
So I feel like it always felt like weird. But I think it was also because my little brother's so much younger than me. He's like 9 years younger than me. And my older brother, like we were never like really like friends, so we didn't hang out or anything like that.
Mhm.
That I always kind of felt like an only child.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I love hanging out with my parents. So it was always us 3 and then my little brother. And then because me and my older brother weren't really friends, I was like, we're gonna be best friends forever.
and they are.
I take being an older sibling really seriously, and I do
Mm.
love my brothers. But also, I'm like, feel like being an only child probably would have been tight. And I think about that. I think about that in terms of like when I think about having kids or if I want to have kids, I'm like, if I do have children, it's for sure only one. And I don't want to hear anyone be like, you have to have more than one. Where are they gonna learn social skills? It's like, nah, one.
Why though? What's your reasoning?
Because I just want to focus. Because like having a kid is terrifying.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Bitch, I talk shit about kids all the time.
So I'm just like, yo, like, if I just have one child to like focus my energy on, like, I'm also like a big worrier. So I'm finna be worried like all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like, so if I have like 2, not even like like more than 2 is like, no, one.
That's true.
Felt that. That's honestly like, I mean, and they'll have cousins, you know, they'll have friends, you know, they don't really need a sibling.
They're gonna go to school.
And they're gonna have you as a fucking parent. Like, that's entertaining enough.
Exactly.
A Leo parent is like elite. Like, that's it.
Like, I honestly, I think that's an older sibling thing to say though, because my brother always says that.
Fair.
That life would be so much better if he was just an only child. But I'm like, girl, sorry, I came and fucked it all up.
You're like, bro, shut the fuck up. What's the sign?
He's early December. I don't know what that is.
Sagittarius.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
So that's what we were talking about before. So forever I thought I was a rising Scorpio, which made sense to me because I hold grudges.
Okay.
And I'm like resentful, and I'm just like I love revenge. Like I'd be like, if I'm mad, I'm just gonna be mad forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my lick back,
I
bitch.
just learned like 2 weeks ago that I'm actually a Sagittarius rising, and I'm disappointed.
Honestly, it's Sagittarius are the same way though. I know
Sagittarius. What is their like things?
They're spontaneous
and they love freedom, but they're also very like I have a friend who's a Sag, and her boyfriend was fighting, and she literally socked the guy in the face that was fighting her boyfriend, and she will literally like be like, I'll like show like hold grudges like that, and she'll be like, I'm gonna get my lick back, like so the fact that you're saying that you're Sag, like it really does.
Oh my
it resonates with me, at least, of what I know of Sag, you know?
My brother is like that. Dude, a dog bit his wife and he was like, I'm gonna fucking kill that dog.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck that dog.
Yeah. And he didn't, because it was my uncle's and like we didn't want to like start any
drama?
problems. Yeah. But during my wedding, he's like, during the wedding when everybody's fucking gone, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna kill that dog.
That's what he's thinking about during your wedding?
I swear to God, that's literally was his plan. And we were all like, dude, please don't do that.
He's like, fuck this wedding.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I'm leaving to kill that dog.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Crazy. Shout out to my brother. He is pretty spontaneous though. Because one time he left and he was like, I'm going to the casino. And I was like, okay. And then he didn't come home. And I was like, oh my God, did something happen to him?
Yeah.
Because like we're not close, but I do worry,
of course,
about him.
At the end of the day.
And I called him and I was like, where are you at? And he was like, the casino. And I was like, where? He's like, Vegas. I was like, bitch, you couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to Vegas. Like, he literally was like, well, I'm at the casino.
He didn't want you to be like, I want to go.
No, fuck no.
So y'all like the casino? You like to gamble?
Dude, no. I'm a terror. I've gone twice. And the only time I gambled was the first time. And I told myself, I'm only going to spend $20. I made 40 and then I lost 20 and I was like, fuck this shit. Got my $20 back and I never gambled again. I am a terrible loser. I cannot, especially when it comes to money, bitch, because I have money issues. I have money trauma, bitch. Like I have big money trauma that I'm trying to work through. I cannot fucking play with my money, bitch. I can't. I don't know how people do it. I wish. I can't.
I'm just very much like, oh, I could have spent that $20 on like something else. And
a
now
fucking
it's
cute
in the
jacket.
fucking machine.
Literally.
Yeah. So I hate it.
Do you
But
gamble?
also,
I love to gamble. It's
What
like
kind of?
it's like my only vice. Like
Really?
I don't drink. I've never drank before.
What do you mean?
I've never drinking alcohol.
Not a drop.
I'll take a sip. Like I'll be on a date or something and I'll be like, what's this? This is gross. I've never had like a full drink of alcohol in my life.
just because you don't like it?
I've never been drunk. Like I've never.
No wonder your skin's amazing.
There you go.
Makes sense.
Oh my God.
I've never done any drugs. Like I don't, but I love it to gamble. And I love to gamble so much that I don't gamble very often at all. Cause I'm like,
because you know,
if I'm finna gamble, like I love going to Vegas. Like I play roulette, I play poker, I love playing blackjack. Like,
so you're not on the slots.
nah, because
Okay.
I like to have I like to feel like I have control.
Oh.
That's like, okay,
Gotcha.
like I'm winning money. Like I'm doing like,
It's
well,
not
the
up to
slots are
chance.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a chance. But when I gamble, I'm kind of like, I'm spending this amount of money, it's gone. Like I think about it like I'm spending it, it's entertainment.
Oh,
So if
got
I'm
it.
like, I'm gonna spend $200 gambling, if I get 50 back, in my head, I gained $50 because I'm like, because I spent it. I'm like, this is like I'm going to a show or something. Like it's gone.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's like the good financial advice, but like I'm just saying, like that's what I.
But
do.
you know what? Like you said, everyone has their own type of addiction.
Yeah.
Because
What's yours?
No one said addiction.
It is, baby girl. If you have to
no one-
actively tell your mind, like, this is as much as I'm allowing you, because
I think
if now we're
that's
going to go
responsible.
off.
Honestly, I agree. I think it is responsible because
Thank you.
addiction, like people were literally like losing their homes,
Yeah, I'm not
getting a
gonna, like-
divorce.
No, yeah, but
Can we go back to the inspirational part of my story?
Yeah.
About how I'm like,
he's all, I'm a serious
I'm
gambler.
a good person. Dude, oh my god, but that's a good way of rationalizing it. I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe I'll give it a try.
Dude,
Let's
go.
I'm down.
I'll go
After
watch
this?
you guys.
I'll watch it. She'll root for us.
Yeah, I'll be your cheerleader.
Did you see your Coachella tickets? See,
We could probably make the money to buy them.
Oh my God. I'm going to be like Zach Galifianakis and
Like, make
the
doing the math?
Hangover. I'm going to come down and like...
Yeah.
And I'll be like, sorry, I'm just schizophrenic. Like, I don't actually, I'm not counting numbers.
Are you good at math?
I'm okay.
You're okay. Okay, so you.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
That's what I know. I wanted to ask that.
I'd never
Oh.
do
You know,
that.
what if he was? He said I'd never do that. He's like, please don't ban me. It's like, I love
Yeah.
it.
Wait, so how'd you even like learn? I feel like that's why I don't do it, because I don't know how to fucking play.
My family gambles.
Oh.
Like sports betting, like learning really
my God.
young. Like I've been betting on sports since I was like 8 years old.
What's
Dude.
been your biggest loss?
I've lost like 1,500. I know,
What's your biggest win?
like $3,000.
Nice. So
Damn.
those, they cancel out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
you go. Yeah, exactly.
So there was
Exactly.
not really a loss, actually.
Yeah, exactly. There's no losses.
Never
no
lost.
losses in life, just lessons.
Love.
You know?
I'd be
Especially-
losing shit.
In gambling, there's no such thing as losers, just quitters.
Ooh.
Oh my. This is addiction talk, bro. Like, this is way, because my best friend's addicted to gambling on sports, and he's like, I can stop whenever I want. And I'm like, okay, then stop.
I
want
really
to.
don't gamble. Like if I go to Vegas, I'm gonna gamble.
Oh,
Like,
so you
it's a
have like your
trick.
time and
Special
place.
I
for
I
it.
don't gamble like online.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
gamble
okay,
like
okay.
it's just like, oh, I'm going to Vegas. I'm
I'm
hyped.
gonna
I love to
gamble.
Yeah,
gamble.
you
I'm
enjoy
gonna
it.
go. But yeah, I'm not like.
There's a
That's
time
a
and a place.
hobby.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Steph.
yeah.
Appreciate
My
it.
bad.
I love that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like I have an addictive personality. Like,
I feel that.
Are you addicted to anything?
my phone and weed. Pretty much. I also get addicted to I guess online shopping, but like window online shopping.
Okay.
Like I'll add like 50 things to my cart and then I just won't buy it. But I spend like hours on end just like looking.
But you
through
won't
it.
buy anything
No,
ever.
mm-mm. I just get like a really good rush from like adding it to the cart.
You're like one day.
And pretending, that someday I'm gonna buy it. I actually just deposited my checks and I did go shopping. But
Love.
those bitches, they like the friggin' shipping is to like next
Oh
week.
my god.
Yeah, bitches, but whatever.
I hate that. But I love that.
What about you?
I'm addicted to. I don't want to say my phone because I'm not claiming that energy.
I unfortunately am very bad.
I'm
Like,
getting
my screen
better at
time
it.
is like 10 hours.
Yeah, I'm getting better at it.
It's not. It's not 10 hours, but sometimes it is.
Pull it up right now.
No. Fine, I'll show you guys.
No, okay. And am I addicted to anything?
Okay, but to be fair, this is screen time from like between like 12 and 3 a.m.
Okay.
So like half of this is like in the middle of the night,
Okay.
which is it's 6 hours and 30 minutes right now.
Okay. That's
But
not that bad.
yeah.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not that bad. Yesterday was like 3 hours. So I mean, I'm getting better. I'm
Okay.
working on it.
Honestly, I feel like my addiction is like my bed. I have an issue.
Like being on your bed.
Mm-hmm.
See, but that's
Like,
not an addiction.
if I don't
What do you mean? What do you mean?
like if I don't set my schedule for the day, like literally write it out, or like if I don't like set an intention at least, or if I don't get up from my bed from like within the first 10 minutes of like getting up in the morning, like I could stay in my bed all day. And I mean, when I don't have my son, it's really bad. Like, bitch, I could probably lay on my bed all fucking day.
See, but I get
But-
that.
Huh?
That's an understandable
Yeah,
one.
no, it's bad though, because it's like I have shit to do and I don't do it because
See, but I mean, like, I feel like I have an addictive personality because the reason my phone screen has been going down is because now I dedicate all that time to just reading. Like, I still have to be filling that time with something.
Mhm.
Like, now, and this is fucking dumb, but instead of being on my phone while I'm driving, I'll literally have the book like right there, and I'm just like that. Cause like my brain, yeah, dude,
illegal.
I am actually. Actually, on my way over here, I almost got pulled over because I was doing my mascara and I was like that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I need to be like, if I'm reading the book, I have to know what happens next, or it's gonna drive me fucking nuts.
Do you have good eyesight?
Yeah. Well, I got LASIK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before I didn't, I was really fucking blind.
Okay.
Like really blind.
Because I was like, how are you? Because I was like, how are you reading a book
while driving?
Like,
that's insane to me.
I mean, it takes me a long time. Like, I'm not like.
I have a friend who will remain nameless. Who will I've seen this friend drive, do coke, watch a Netflix documentary. Will just do everything while driving, and I feel so safe with them.
Yeah, I feel like that.
They got it.
I literally, and honestly, I hate when people nag at me when I'm doing something while I'm driving, because I'm like, bitch, you bothering me right now is more distracting than everything else that I'm doing. And I feel like I'm a good driver, but also my car's very safe, so I also feel like sucks for everybody else because I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry.
She got a big old motherfucking mamalona.
But I've never crashed. And the times that I have almost crashed were not because I was distracted. It was just more of traffic stopped or someone cut me off.
Isn't it crazy when you're driving and you almost crash and you're like, yo, I could die at any second.
Yes.
I was driving down here and car swerved into my lane. You can see there's the cars in the swerve.
Yeah.
And so I just happened to do that. But I was like, what if I didn't do that?
Exactly. What if you were
I wouldn't
attention?
be on IE and Besties. I was coming down here to be on IE and Besties.
That'd be crazy.
To fulfill my dream. And y'all would have a memorial episode.
Literally.
Yeah, but we wouldn't even have known. So we would have been talking shit or something.
We'd have been like,
he
where the
stood
fuck
us
is
up.
he?
What
Not
the
responding.
fuck? That would have been crazy.
That would have been insane. Because would we have known?
Eventually.
Maybe
Yeah.
Petty or fucking.
Right. They would have told us. And then in the
bro.
next episode, we could just play the Ouija board and called upon you.
And then we would have apologized because we probably would have talked shit about
Yeah,
you on the
exactly.
show.
So thank God you didn't crash.
Thank God. I have crashed. I've never gone pull over, thank God. But I've crashed.
It's the worst.
I used to drink and drive a lot. Took after my father. But I don't do it anymore.
Shout out to Pops.
Dude, my dad could drive really well drunk though. I actually like when he drives drunk compared to when he's sober. It's so weird.
I have family members who if they don't drink and drive, they get paranoid or anxious.
Whoa.
And I'm
that's insane.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Do you think that's why you've never drank in your life? That you were you saw shit and you were just I don't want to drink.
I mean, I think it's that deep, and it's also not that deep.
Okay.
I think definitely I grew up in a household with a lot of substance abuse, whether that's alcohol or different drugs, and also substance distribution, where it's kind of it's never been a fun thing to me.
Yeah.
It's people this is people are stressed about this. This is people's livelihood. People their health deteriorates. People die. So I've kind of always been and also I feel I've been someone in my family or not even just my family, my neighborhood or my schools, people have always been don't know. People are so protective of me. It's really a blessing. I've never been peer pressured. Maybe once or twice, but more often than not, what happens is I'll be in a group where most people know I don't drink or smoke. People are doing whatever. I don't care. I'm kicking it. And someone might just pass me a joint or whatever. And people will be like, no, don't. And I'm it's
relax.
It's cool.
Hey. You're chill.
Or if I'm at younger, at my family's house, in Compton or whatever, I'll get in the car with my cousin and people be like, you need to get out of the car because Jonathan's in the car and you have XYZ on you.
Oh, shit.
Or my friend Lana who I went to college with would be we used to strategically route you away from the rooms where lots of cocaine was being done.
Oh, that is so nice.
But I'm just here thinking la la la, I'm having a good time. But I feel people have always been very protective of me. So I do think one, it is deep around I've seen it in my family, and I'm back to addictive personality. I'm kind of I feel I probably
it's possible
could
for
really
you.
Be on this. But also I'm kind of just it's just not for me. I just really don't have an interest. I'm not tripping on it.
And you know what? I think it's really crazy that whenever I'm in a situation where someone's like, oh, I don't drink, people are like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the fuck do we care? You don't drink and that's it. But also I'm I do want to know, because how do you go on life
Sober. So stick around for the Patreon. Jonathan is gonna try drugs for the very first time today.
We're gonna get him drunk.
So plastered. It's gonna be so much fun. So definitely
down.
subscribe. Yeah.
No, I'm just.
No, we wouldn't do that
I
to
would
you.
never.
See,
I would
look,
never
it's
do
already
that
happening.
to
It's
you
already
now.
happening. It's protectiveness. People are like, once people know, they're like, no.
No,
Like,
honestly,
absolutely
like
not.
I probably would still try to tell you to do it, but the fact that I feel like it's for a reason. After hearing like your whole explanation, that I would hate to be the one to like break that. But if you would have just been like, no, I've never tried it, and you would have kept out like the protectiveness part, I would have been like, we're gonna try it today.
Yeah, peer pressure.
Literally, yeah. No, but I respect that though. I that's cool.
I mean, I feel like there was a time when I was like, I can't imagine not ever drinking. But since I don't really drink anymore, like, I understand it now. And back then I was kind of a dickhead about it. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what a buzzkill. You don't drink? Like, whatever. Yeah, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely understand why people don't drink.
I also feel like people are annoying about it.
Yeah.
Like, people can be like, don't get that away from me. And it's just like, then leave, bro. Like,
Yeah.
then why are you, like, here? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
I'll just be, or a lot of times, like, with my friends, I might be, like, DJing a party. And I'm like, I'm having a great time.
Exactly.
Like, or I'm kind of like, someone let me know what drugs people are on? Because that'll help me play better music for you. Like, please let me know, like, what's going on. But yeah, like, you can just be posted. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? And people have such a problem with it, like, I guess that can be okay, but like, then don't be going out then.
Yeah,
What do you expect? People make it like a holier than thou thing.
Literally.
And it's like, it's not like that.
Literally.
That's how I feel now with weed. Like, a lot of people are more, I guess, judgmental towards me.
Because
Like, they'll be like, oh, you know, you don't have to smoke all the time. And I'm like,
It's like,
yeah,
yeah, I do know.
dude, I do know that.
you know, you don't have to say your opinion. All
Yeah,
the
no,
time.
literally. And it was weird because it didn't, before I didn't really talk about me smoking. And now that I'm like, I guess more open about it, that's when people felt like they could like give me their opinion on it. And I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you think. Because I've been doing this before.
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to be more chill about it. But only because I have a lot of fitness goals and I feel like it kind of gets in the way a little bit. Which, speaking of, I'm going to go on my first backpacking trip.
Ooh,
Very excited.
where
Very
you going?
excited. It's a trail in Sequoia National Park and it's a 4-day backpacking trip.
Wow.
So I'm very excited for that. But I'm saying it because I don't want to like chicken out. So that way you guys could hold me accountable for that.
Have you like, so this is like, you're like staying out in the woods for real?
Yeah. Like in the woods.
No Airbnb, no
nothing.
Like,
I mean, I already camp, but like this is more, I guess, intense because I have to take, like, we're taking like dried food because you're carrying everything. It's like a 50-pound bag and you're like walking with it for like 4 days.
I could never.
Never.
Yes, I'm very
Never.
Don't you
excited.
ever invite me to do no shit.
I
like
know,
that.
and
I
we
would
like
never
very
drive,
much
same.
plan like, okay, who are we gonna tell? Because I didn't want to go just like with 2 people
Yeah.
because I felt like with
Bigger
4 at
group,
least, if
it's a
one
safer-
person, yeah, but not too big because everyone has to take
slow
their own
down.
shit. So we're going. It's 4 of us that are going, and I'm very excited.
Who's going?
Alex, my cousin Sonia, and my cousin George.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm
fun.
excited, but we'll see. So if I don't make it back, guys, find a new bestie.
I could never.
Me either.
I don't even like camp. I need to take a shower twice a day. I need to have running water for a restroom. I don't like bugs. I don't like my hands being dirty.
That's my little brother. I took him camping for the first time, and he literally was like, "Never fucking invite me again." He hated it.
I'm too like prissy for shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not gonna be.
I get that. I feel like I used to be like that, but I do find a lot of peace in nature.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just what I want to submerge myself in right now because that's what I need. So I feel like once I found like being okay with being like dirty, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like there's a lot of places that I want to see that the only way I'm going to see them is if I fucking like walk through a mountain.
Yeah.
And
That's
I want to be able to witness them like there.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I feel like I'd be down to camp, but I would have to take an inflatable bed. It has to be somewhere like near the beach.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some kind of vibe like that. There has to be like a restroom already built, you know, somewhere nearby. So I'm like in between.
Like glamping.
Yeah, honestly. And even then I'd probably be like, eesh.
I just need a place to return. Like
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
being
yeah.
in nature. I like being in nature.
Yeah.
And a
you
nice
wanna go
Airbnb
home.
with windows.
Yeah.
And just like look at like,
Like in
all
a
the
cabin
nature.
style?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Literally, yeah. And even then, I'd be like, "Are you sure you don't want to get an Airbnb? Like,
Somewhere in the city.
But I've been
are you
I,
sure you want to camp?"
I've been like looking into like going into like a silent retreat lately though.
Ooh.
Like to just be like completely silent for like 5 days or like 7 days.
Holy shit.
Did you hear that if you don't talk for 7 days, your body kind of like goes through a process where like it starts pumping a bunch of dopamine into your brain and it like rewires your nervous system, something along the lines. I'd have to look it up because I don't remember exactly what it said, but there's like a lot of benefits that come from staying silent for at least 7 days.
I feel like I need it right now. That might be the move. Like
Yeah.
just to be like complete like
Do you think you'd be able to do it?
yeah.
There's not a lot of like talking involved in your day to day, like at work.
At my job, yeah, my job is to like talk to people and like present and do whatever.
So,
but like I
How would
don't
you do
need
it?
I don't need to do that. I feel like I can like be like quiet. I feel like even
Write it
in like
down?
different like no, I take time off work.
Okay.
No, I mean like
I'd be
no, I mean
like,
like
go
literally
to a place.
literally I'm at a place.
Okay, you're gonna leave.
that's just like
Okay.
secluded and I'm
For
like
sure.
silent. Like
Even with yourself though, like you're just not making any noise?
No, you can't talk at all. Like you're gonna be in your head for 7 days.
from
straight.
what I understand, there are like spaces and times where like you go in a space and can talk a little bit. But like for the most part, yeah, it's like you're completely silent.
Damn. See, that I could fucking never. I don't think my mouth ever stops.
I think I could do it.
Dude, I really, truly, when I was younger, my teacher put my desk up against the wall and put curtains around me because I couldn't stop talking to the kids in class. Now that I think of it, that's pretty fucked up.
What's her name?
Her name was Miss Faulkner, and I remember we used to
Fuck
laugh
you.
at her because we'd be like, "Ha, Miss Faulkner," and I was like in third grade, like,
And then
why
she
am I
was like,
cursing?
and then she was like, haha, go in the curtain, like by the wall.
She was crazy. She was a bitch. One time, this kid was like, "I need to pee," and he was like, "No, you have to hold it." And he literally was like, "I'm gonna piss myself," and he peed in class because she was like, "No, you're not gonna go to the restroom."
That's
Yeah, she was kind of a bitch. So
not kind of. She was a fucking bitch.
dude, yeah, I was a little kid, little third grader. She was the first person to ever give me detention. Yeah, so I cannot shut the fuck up ever. I feel like it would be, I think, one of the most challenging things I've ever done. I'll ever do if I try to do that.
Really?
Yeah. Because even like,
We
What?
should do it for the Patreon one day. We have
Just
to
sit
For
sit
how long?
for 30 an hour long. Stay quiet. Whoever breaks the silence.
Who's gonna
first.
watch that?
Honestly,
guys, would you watch it?
would
Be
you
honest.
let us know? Let us know in the comments, please. I would hope so. Imagine we could
I'm
just.
gonna-
It's the most
we-
viewed video.
We'd have to find a way to entertain them without talking.
That's just a video, it's not a podcast.
I would have to find like a fidget spinner. I can't just like how do silent treatment retreats even work?
I have no. It's just kind
just
of a
guess.
thought
Yeah?
that I'm kind of down.
Like I wonder if they give you activities. You just have to sit in your thoughts.
I guess I didn't think about that. This might be really hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah, what would I do?
Do
I'd
you
sleep-
have Sorry. Do you have any hobbies that you feel like you would entertain yourself with if you were quiet?
Well, like my biggest thing, and it goes back to what I was doing before, like DEI work is music. Like if I have any free time, I'm listening to music. So if I could be like, can I listen to stuff in my headphones? I'd be straight.
Oh, I think then too, but then I think I also be like,
You
like, I'll start singing.
singing? Me, that's what I was thinking. I'd be like, fuck, I feel like I'd start singing and shit.
Yeah. What
Or
if
like
they're
I
like,
would read.
oh,
Reading?
you know what?
Reading's dope. I feel like you could do it at least one day.
I could do it if I'm alone and nobody's around me.
You could do it if you could drive. And
Yeah,
read.
actually.
And like a track.
I actually do think I could do that because when I'm in the car, I'm usually like silent. Like I don't always play music. Sometimes I just sit there in my own silence.
Yeah, I do that too. It's important.
Yeah,
Just
oh
to
my
kind of hear
gosh.
like the world.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I could do it. I believe in myself.
Have you ever been on like a road trip, like a long road trip
Yeah, all the time.
by yourself?
I think I've only done by myself like once. Cause my family moved to Oregon, so we would drive up and down a lot, and then we also like would drive to Mexico, which is like a day and a half.
Yeah.
So I do long drives, but I do prefer long drives alone because I
Yes.
don't like people talking to me.
When I drive down here, I can drive down here a lot. I'm back from San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it's like the most peaceful time I have in my life. It's like one, I can't do anything because
Yeah.
I'm someone who has doing a lot of things. So it's like I literally, man, I guess if I was like you and maybe read before, but I'm not gonna do that. So it's like, yo, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
No one can talk to me. I can scream. I can cry. I can yell. I can do whatever I want, and it's like just me in this like car. Like it's such a beautiful time.
I fucking love those drives when you're like screaming, crying,
Mm-hmm.
like having a mental breakdown driving.
Pull over for a little bit so you can hyperventilate and
Yeah.
then keep going.
Yeah.
I just raw dog that shit. I just keep driving.
Dude, I actually, most of like when I get like emotional panic attacks like that, they're always in the car. So I
car.
do have to
There's
like
something
pull
about-
over.
There's something about like the motion. I don't even know if it's true, but it feels like there's something
Yeah,
about
like it's kind of rocking you
Yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of bringing you
something
to
about like everyone just looking at you too.
You know what it
drive
is
by
too
and
that I'm always
staring
like
at you.
we're all on the freeway right now and we're all going so many different places and there's so many people right now here and I'm having it like I can't be the only bitch crying right
sad.
now.
That's
Yeah,
literally I've had that thought before
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going through because I know I'm not the only sad bitch on the freeway right
Yeah.
now. I love that. And I'm in a fishbowl, literally. Like my windows are not tinted at all. So when
yeah, I have
be,
no shame.
When I be crying in there, I don't give a fuck. And I've made eye contact, hardcore eye contact, while like crying my fucking eyes out.
Your windows aren't tinted.
Not at all.
Weren't you the one who said you love car sex?
My old car was. Remember I said I crashed?
I
Yeah.
watched the podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I watched
no,
it.
Damn,
okay.
I don't even remember that.
Real. I love you for that.
Yeah.
I had a blue car before that the windows were blacked the fuck out, and I totaled that car because I used to drive drunk all the time.
Oh my god.
Which I learned after that time. I never drove. Well, maybe I did once or twice again,
goodness.
but I to this day after becoming a mother,
Good.
I don't anymore.
Good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
makes
bad.
sense.
It was bad. Yeah, it was really fucking bad, actually.
So that's the
trauma.
one she was having sex in, dude.
Yeah, and also my boyfriend at the time.
she's not a pervert.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
actually like people watch too. No, imagine. No, but my ex too. His car had like tinted windows.
Dude, who were we talking to about sex parties?
Was it your
ISIS.
guest?
Was it ISIS? Oh.
Would you ever? We mentioned. I don't know if you watched the last episode. How ISIS said she would be down. Wait, was that on the Patreon? Oh no, that was on the Patreon. Then.
We
Well,
can't say what it
mentioned-
is. You guys have to go and watch it.
Damn.
Pay for
But
Patreon.
we'll say it for Johnathon, just this one part. We talked about how there's sex parties where people will literally be having sex in like open door rooms in the house, and people can like walk through the house, and
yeah, like
if the
just
door's
to watch,
open,
just
you
to
can
look.
watch people have sex.
So people are watching you, and you can watch people.
No,
yeah,
you're not.
or like you can go just to watch.
Yeah, you don't have to partake.
Yeah, I'd be down.
You'd be down.
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
so.
like I'd be down too. Low key, not gonna lie.
I feel like I'd be down, but not like in an erotic way.
Me
like I
too.
just want to see like what
the fuck is
happening.
going on.
Yeah, like I
Same.
feel like I'd be like
And I low key feel like I'd be like this the whole time, like. Oh, fuck.
we're all like little kids, like
Literally,
They'd, like, kick you out.
I would be so fucking immature.
we're all fucking laughing. Oh yeah, I don't think. But also, I feel like they do like a very nice, thorough like. How did you find out about this?
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think they would just let us
Just
go to
let any
go.
bitches in?
Yeah, no.
With their camera, like we're filming a podcast.
Yeah.
all in the
Put on
ass.
the road. We're on live. We're like, this is live.
That'd be crazy. No, I feel like I'd get weird. Cause like I don't like to look at dicks, you know what I mean, or like random vaginas.
Yeah,
But I think for like research purposes,
Yeah.
I would want to.
yeah.
But then also like, am I gonna make eye contact with them? Because
I would.
I would rather not.
I'd be like, I don't think that feels good for her.
Oh my god! See, that's fucked up.
You start
Now we're just-
coaching.
Literally, I'd be like, hey,
Blowing a
lift her
whistle?
leg up a little more.
but
Then
see,
they're like, get her out.
Get her.
They're like, she can't be in here.
security. Where do they even? Have you guys ever seen The Watch?
No.
No.
No. Oh, it's a movie about aliens. But they're like trying to figure out. It's a comedy movie. They're trying to figure out like who's an alien.
Mhm.
And there's this one guy who's hella sketch and weird.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, come to my house, like whatever." And then it turns out being like this huge orgy, and one of the guys stays.
That's hilarious. Do you remember the first time you had sex? Are you
I do.
willing to share it? That story?
I do.
Was it memorable?
Was it good?
It was. Yeah, I mean, it was memorable,
Yeah.
and like it was good at the time. Now that like I'm older
You
and
got more
like have sex,
experience.
it's like, oh, like what the fuck
That-
was I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Special?
I thought so. I mean, like, so for like, I was in a relationship in high school for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And lost my virginity to that person,
Mhm.
and she lost her virginity as well. And so in that sense, like, it was like special.
Mhm.
It was like I remember she like lived like 2-ish miles like from my place. I think I was like a junior in high school. It was like a school night. I snuck out of my house like 11 o'clock, walked over to her place.
Love.
That is so cute.
Yeah,
Something
and then,
about that
like-
is just the cutest.
Yeah.
Were you nervous? Were you prepared?
I didn't.
Did you know it was gonna happen?
So I didn't know it was gonna happen.
Sure, walking in the middle of the night.
But like the thing about that is like that is like the first time I like ever had an orgasm in my life.
No way.
Like I'd never watched porn before. Like I had never like that was so I had no idea what was happening, and it was so in terms of being special, I was like
You're like, this is the best.
I was
shit
like, oh, I
ever.
get it. I was like, oh, I get it.
Oh,
Like
my
I
God.
understand why people be
Do
wilding
this.
out. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. But
I
yeah,
am
like
so amazed.
it's so crazy because I'd never like
I can't believe you've never watched porn.
yeah.
That's so unheard of either.
Or like I'd never masturbated. Like
Why?
I'd never. I don't know. Isn't that? It's crazy.
Did you have the urges, or you just like, maybe later?
I like definitely like as like a young man was like turned on, but I never had the urge to be like I'm gonna
Do
like
it myself.
just never had never even tried.
What about your brothers? Is that something that you guys
Do
like
they
talk
masturbate?
about? Like
No.
you guys are not like you guys are
I
not
think
close
as
to talk
we
like that.
I've gotten older, like we talk about sex more and more.
Yeah.
But it's not like
When
women.
you were younger in high
It's
school.
not, no, it's not
Okay.
like women who I feel like are like so incredibly like
Open.
in tune with their bodies and also open with each other about like their
Yeah.
I
bodies.
hate that. I hate that guys don't have like
No.
deep talks like that. Like
I
some
feel like
of them do.
I'm starting to have them now.
Yeah.
But like it's like fairly like recent.
Yeah. Cause like even like Alex used to like he gets really upset when he's like, "Why are you talking to your friends about this?" And I'd be like, "Dude, what do you don't talk to your
He's all reading your
friends?"
messages. He's like, Alex fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Can't make me
No, not
nut.
like that. Just in this like I don't think he ever had like that
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
would
yeah.
be like he calls his friends
Yeah.
like, "Dude, this just happened, or I'm
Yeah.
having this problem.
Yeah.
Like, how do I deal with it?" And that
Yeah.
always like it bugged me because I'm like, "What do you mean? Who's gonna tell you when you're wrong, or who's gonna tell you when you're fucking up?"
you
I'm
need
like that.
advice.
I'm like that with like my friends who are women, which is most of my friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I definitely would be like, what do you think about this? Or like, how do I do this? Or like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 whatever. But also like, I feel like as I've gotten older and like have had more sex, like, and I feel like people don't do this, or I'm learning people don't do this, particularly as a man who like is only interested in heterosexual sex.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm like Mr. Check-in
Okay.
after, like, how was that?
I love that.
How was that for you? Or like, what'd you think about this? Or like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm always
Yeah,
like,
here's
I'm
the
like,
survey.
I'm like doing research. I'm just like, what was, cause like,
It's,
Aw.
you want to be good.
That's
you
like,
strike
why not?
and you strike me as a person that doesn't have casual sex. Is that true or no?
It's so true.
You don't.
I'm
huh?
so sensitive.
No,
I'm
but
trying,
I love
I'm
that.
Trying, I'm trying more and more not to be, and I'm just not the bachelor I thought I was. I can't like.
And honestly, I love that because I'm the same. I don't do casual sex either. And I feel like for me, like sex is such a sacred thing and it always has been.
Yeah.
I can't have sex with someone if I don't have an some sort of connection to you. I have to feel some like I can't like my friend Val, I love you. She's always been super open and I just always admired how if she wanted something, she'll like
Yeah.
fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be like that because there was so many freaking hot ass guys growing up that I was like, I want to bang this dude. I want to fucking do it. And I would try to, and I just could never. And I couldn't even get wet. Like
Yeah,
it was
that's the thing
bad.
about it is that like your body will tell. Like
Yeah.
even if you try to trick yourself, your body will be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable.
The crazy thing is like I would feel turned on, but my vagina would be like
Yeah.
dry
Yeah.
as a desert. Like, and that's the insane thing to me. And people would call me a tease in high school because I'd make out and like do the most, and then once it came down to like sticking their dick in me, they'd be like, "Bro, like you're dry as fuck. How are you dry?" We just like made out and dry humped and did the most for like
Yeah.
30 minutes.
That's
like,
crazy,
dude, and I could never fucking have sex. I could never do it. Like I don't know why. So I've learned casual sex is just not for me. Like at a very early on, and I just never tried to do it. And I love the few people that I have had sex with, they have checked in with me like, did you like that? You know, and sometimes even during sex.
Mhm.
I like it because I'm not vocal during sex. Like if I moan and things like that, like I'm cool with that. But I know that people are more of talkers. I'm not a talker. But because I've had sex with men who, like, during sex will be like, does this feel good? You know, like, they'll say little things. I've been able to be like, oh, I can be more vocal too, in the sense of, like, during sex, I'll be like, okay, put your hand there, or, like, keep rubbing there. You know, like kind of guide a little bit. And so I love that. I love that you do that. I think that's, like, the most, like, elite thing you can do as a man personally. Like, I hat off to you, sir. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Maybe we'll have sex on the page. Tune in. I'm over here like,
watch me get fired. all these like things, and like all my positions go away.
It's getting a little hot in here. Hold on, let me take my jacket off.
Oh my god.
No,
I know a lot of people like that though. That they need to have like an emotional connection.
Do you really? I feel like I don't.
I don't.
I feel like
I just need to think you're hot.
I was just like having. Or like it doesn't even have to be a connection, but like there has to be an idea of like I really like you.
Yeah.
As a person.
Like as a person.
Yeah.
Like maybe like we're not in a relationship
But
or whatever,
something
but
can
it's
come
like I
from it.
really like you. And I think that like particularly as like a heterosexual man, I think like you're kind of sold a script of like you should be having lots of sex with different partners. And it's like that's cool for some people.
Yeah.
It's not very fun for me.
I don't.
I'm trying to like make things less high stakes. Like even if it doesn't have to be like sex, just like any like romantic endeavor relationship, I'm trying to be like just like
it's just for
chill.
funsies.
Like it's just for fun, like living life. But like I'm too sensitive for that shit.
Yeah. What is your moon?
Libra, which I feel like I don't really know what that means. I don't resonate with it.
What does your moon mean?
It's
like, what does it
I don't
represent?
know.
I get it mixed up with my rising all the time.
Your rising is what you project, right?
What people think you
Yeah.
are.
You're really into style, right? Like your clothes, your shoes, based on your fit. Like I could tell that you care about that.
Thanks.
And I love that. And men, I love when men like can dress really nice. That's Libra energy for me. I have a cousin who's a Libra, and she literally like is all about her fits. Like her fits always have to be on point. Her jewelry has to be on point. Like she likes looking good, smelling good, like being presentable. Like that's for me when I think about Libra. That's
definitely me.
That's like the main thing for me personally when I think about Libra. So I definitely see that.
I wish I was like that. Like I genuinely feel the most comfortable when I look like a fucking troll. Like getting ready to me, I love it, but I'm also like. Like I'm gonna have to wear tight clothes and shave my legs and do my hair. So when it happens like on rare occasions, I love it. I feel like I enjoy it more as opposed because I used to do my makeup like crazy every single day, like full face makeup, and I feel like it kind of took the fun away because I would do it every single day. So now that I don't really do it, like I'm excited for Friday because I'm like, ooh, like I'm gonna wear a skirt. Or like that other day, remember I was wearing a skirt and I was like, fuck, I feel so uncomfortable right now because I'm so used to being in sweats.
That was such a cute skirt. It was giving Rebelde vibes, ass out.
I bought it for the Rebelde concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
I'm going to get another one because it fit me big, low-key. And you can see my whole ass in it.
Yeah. No, I would say it. It didn't look like it fit you big, but it looked like your ass was out most of the time.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed.
I know. I was going up the stairs and I was like, can you see my ass? And you were like,
there was men working in front of her house and they enjoyed that. They got a show. Too. They got a real nice show.
You're welcome, babies.
All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break to shout out our sponsors at Manscaped. Ladies, our friends at Manscaped are here with a deal you can't pass over this Easter season. They've got the tools to give the man in your life the beautifully decorated eggs of his dreams. Just because it's Easter doesn't mean it's okay for him to hide his manhood behind all that grass. Make sure his downstairs lawn is mowed and get him feeling sweet as candy by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off plus free shipping with code BESTIES.
No, really, honestly, their products are so good. My little brother went into our room and he tried to steal Alex's nose hair trimmer. And he was like, you need to get me one. And I was like, girl, okay. It's time to put all your eggs into the perfect basket with the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. Inside this ball care bunny basket, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all his goodies. The Lawnmower 4.0 is an electric trimmer. It has their proprietary advanced skin-safe technology that is designed to trim hair on loose skin.
The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof and equipped with an LED light so you can keep eyes on those eggs even in the dark. The Easter Bunny dropped off an extra special gift with performance package by adding the upgraded Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in his delicate nose and ear holes. This package also comes with their crop preserver, ball deodorant, and crop reviver ball toner. Yeah, you heard that right. This is ball deodorant that can change his life and yours potentially. April is Easter, but it's also Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as a part of their We Save Balls initiative.
So save 20% off and free shipping with the code BESTIES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BESTIES at manscaped.com. Hop into the best deal of the year with Manscaped. We now return to your regular scheduled programming. Do you thrift a lot?
Yeah, every now and then. Like, particularly in San Francisco, it's a pretty good city to like drift around. There's lots of good like consignment stores or like vintage stores. But like I'll buy stuff from fast fashion or like I try to like kind of buy from like wherever. I also would just like watch like or not watch. I'll like see like people, mostly like women, like just wear cool stuff and I'm like, what do I like about this? And like how can I do this like in my own way? So whatever it is, like I like to try to get it how I live.
And do you like living in San Francisco? Because I feel like I know a lot of people that live over there right now.
Really? I love it. It's a beautiful city. It's a great like area. It's very diverse, particularly from like where we're from, right? Like it's like very like it's much more diverse. The climate's like night and day. Like it's like not hot, like it's like or windy. Like it's like just was a little windy, but not like it. At least in Fontana, it's not like windy like fucking Fontana.
I know those bitches are coming.
Yeah, they really are.
Bastards, I hate them.
They are.
The wind.
Fontana
winds.
Dude, I can't even believe the kind of, because I want to move to like Sierra Lakes, but it's just not fucking worth it.
It's especially right over there.
Yeah, like right under the mountains.
It's
Do you get a lot of wind because you're by the mountains too, right?
Right next to them hoes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Fuck
do.
them winds.
I don't mind it. The only time I seem to mind is like when I'm going out. Like on a night out and my hair is down.
Yeah.
That's the only time I hate it. And I only hate it because like I'll wear lip gloss and like it'll get stuck to my hair.
I love hanging outside on my porch. And when it's windy, you can't.
Nope. Because you're going to get hit by like a sign.
Yeah, or the fucking shit's going to go in your eye. We have a lot of tumbleweed. I feel like I'm in the Old West and shit. Like I'm always singing. I'm like, yeehaw, you know.
Yeah.
It picks up your dog. Smack
Dude, I know. Those poor little bitches.
Yeah. It's also like, it's crazy to like live in like San Francisco, which is like a major city in the world. And it's kind of being like, I live in a city. Like a city as city. Like there's always something going on. I walk down the street and it's like, there's like restaurants open late. There's like a performance. There's this. And it's kind of like, this is so crazy because it's not like this here. Obviously, you have to go to like LA.
Yeah.
And even then, like LA, like it closes early, particularly. It depends on like what area. San Francisco is actually really small. It's like, I believe, 7 miles by 7 miles in a square.
Oh, wow.
Like it's not big at all, but it's lots of terrain, lots of hills. It's on a grid. It's a lot of like space. Like a lot of people compressed into a space.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful place.
Have you had any like crazy like experiences out there? That's anything that stands out that you're just like, oh my god, this happened.
Like I can't believe this happened to me here.
In the Bay?
Or how's dating out there? Are like the women different out there?
Yeah, I think so. I just started dating recently. I'm just coming out of a long-term relationship a couple months ago, like 6-7 months ago.
Oh shit.
So I just started dating like with intention, like just a few months before.
Okay.
And like particularly in a place like the Bay Area or San Francisco, like it's a place where like people from all around the world are, which is like cool in some sense. There's like lots of people here, but like the different like one there's like different like races of people, and like people are coming from different places. Down here, it's like there's different races here, but particularly like there's a way like people dress, people look, people do their makeup, like the bags people have, the glasses people wear, right? Like there is like an IE baddie aesthetic, right? In a place like San Francisco, I feel like it's so metropolitan that like there's lots of different ways that like particularly women express themselves, which is cool. But I think it's interesting because like I'm finding that like I go into situations with like obviously my own set of values, and I'm from a place like this where I feel like I have an understanding of what I think I might receive, but people aren't from, obviously not from here, or like from places that are like here, and so like I'm like, oh, like we look at the world so different, and in some sense that's really cool, and in another sense like it's a little intimidating, or like can be a little like off-putting. But like dating's like fine. I mean I am only interested in dating women, and so like women for the most part are great. Like I don't date men. Men are terrible. You know what I mean? So like I'm not like it's not gonna be super bad for me. But yeah, like people go to San Francisco. I feel like they're in different stages of their life. Some people are like, I just moved here and I'm trying to start my whole new life over. Or like I have a career here. Versus like out here, it's like people are here.
Forever.
And I think there's like a stability in that. Which is for some people it's not. So it's like completely different.
I know. I'm such a suburb girl.
I feel like that's me. I feel like I'm kind of like I'm gonna come back here. Like I think.
You think so?
I don't know. Like I just love being down. I just love where I'm from. I love Fontana. Like I love. It's also the reason why I wanted to say this when the podcast started. So maybe it's a good time now. It's also why I love y'all so much. Like what y'all do. Like what y'all do is like it's not for the cameras. Is really really important. Like truly. Like what y'all do is so important because y'all are representing a culture. Like culture is just a compression of like information, and like y'all are representing a culture that is one like not represented often at all, and two, if it is like often misrepresented. And there are like pockets and layers of culture like in what y'all do, and it's like very highly nuanced. And I don't think people get that. Like y'all are not just like representing like women speaking, not just Latina women speaking, but like Latina women from the Inland Empire. And like it's a culture that has such a richness and vastness. This is a very big place. People don't get that. Like it's the biggest, San Bernardino County is the biggest county in the country. But like people don't like think about that. Like people overlook it. And so like it's important what y'all do because like y'all are like every episode that y'all have are just like microcosms that are like derivative of like a larger culture that we all know and understand. Like what y'all are doing is like we see like our aunties do or like our friends do. Like y'all have a genuineness that really like, which is why y'all are so popular. Like y'all are so genuine and it's really just transcends throughout the camera. And like I'm someone like I don't live here anymore. And if I'm at home and like I miss home, I'll like put y'all on and just like have you up and like listen to like how y'all talk.
I'm gonna
and,
cry.
But it's important. No, but it's
That just made me
important because y'all
emotional.
like it's not like it's not just all fun and games. Like it is like we talk about nothing. It's but like there's a authenticity that like people don't have. And like, you know, I'm sure any podcast get this, but like I'll be like in the comments and like there's always like 2 or 3 like men, or we think they're men, like we don't know, like people are anonymous behind like a screen, which is probably why they feel the need to talk crazy. But people be like there was the last video, you responded to it. There's a comment that was like amateur versus professional, like this is whatever. And like you responded really professionally because like you should, this is your podcast, but I'm not you, so I can say fuck you. Like fuck you talking about. Like it's crazy. Like y'all like are so like derivative of like the place that we're from. And it's really inspiring for people, like just not just like young women, but even someone like myself, someone who is from here, to be like, there's nothing wrong with like being from here and being like very like authentically yourself. And like, it's like crazy. I was talking to Steph before you got here. Like I have friends who are not from the Inland Empire who love the podcast. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. Cause I love the podcast. I mean, I love it because y'all are good, but I'm like, y'all from here. I'm like, fuck with y'all. But like, the fact that it transcends that is just a testament to being like, y'all are important. Like you're filling a gap that is needed to be filled. So I don't know how we got on this, but I wanted to make sure I said that to y'all. Like y'all are my favorite podcast. I love being on the show. Y'all have been really nice to say like, oh, like you've had like a lot of accomplishments, which is cool, but like this is a highlight for me. Like I am so happy that like I'm here.
Just for real, I'm gonna cry now because
Damn.
I feel like a lot of the struggle that I've had with the podcast is that I feel like I don't deserve it. Like I'm here, but I'm like, why am I here? Like I'm so fucking basic, which I don't mind. Like I like being. I feel like when I was younger, a lot of people I was very much like I allowed myself to be influenced. So when I like something that was like mainstream or whatever, like and if people talk shit on it, I would just be like, oh okay, like I'm just not gonna like it. Or if I'm gonna like it, I'm gonna like it in secret. So I feel like with the podcast, I was like, damn, there's a lot of people that feel like that, like feel like me, but I didn't feel like I was a good enough, I guess, representation of that. And like whenever like lately I've been receiving a lot more like, you know, positive feedback and like you even saying that, like it makes me feel like I deserve to be here and it feels nice and I honestly really, really appreciate that you said all that because I don't know, sometimes you get like imposter syndrome and you're like, why me? Like why is this podcast doing so well? And you want to believe it because you want it to succeed. But sometimes, especially me that I struggle a lot with like and I've been very open about it too. Like, you know, I struggle a lot with being kind to myself that I'm like, oh fuck, like maybe you should just like let someone out. Or like I'll meet someone that's like very intimidating to me and I'm like, fuck, like look at how they're doing, like how like I'm not even close to that. Like I didn't feel like I was actually like the podcast was important, not necessarily just to me, but just to the world in general. So when like honestly you saying all that was really nice.
No, literally. I feel the exact same way. Like I'm just listening to you say all that. I'm shook because thank you, first off, again. I truly appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I agree with everything you say. I think when we started the show, thanks to Soul, shout out to Soul, love you for bringing us together. You know, we were doing this for shits and giggles. I mean, obviously we knew we were gonna put like our all into it, but we had no idea of how big it was going to be. And the imposter syndrome definitely hits like a truck out at a point, and I feel like it's easy to kind of get into your head about like what the show really does for people. Like it's easy to kind of, for me, sometimes to dismiss it, like it's not all that. But I think it's just again like the imposter syndrome just kind of speaking. But then I meet people like you and people like DM me, or I've met other fans when I'm out in public, and you know they tell me all these things about what the show does for them, how they resonate, how they've learned, how they've cried, how they've laughed, how they're supporting from out the country, other states. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, and we're really out here doing this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's always like really, really nice to hear. And damn.
I know, I feel like I'm speechless.
Like literally,
Sorry.
literally.
No, it's just it's something that came out of nowhere almost for me because this is the only thing I've ever been consistent on. Like in my entire life, this is the only thing I've never quit. So I feel really connected to it. Like I love doing it and I love coming on here. But sometimes like it's just that like I'm like what am I doing? Like who cares what I have to say?
And you mentioned that when we first started, where again y'all been really nice about like things that I've done, and you were just like, what am I doing? And in my head I was like, what are you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
is
are you
this?
talking
Yeah.
about? Like we're here. Like
Yeah.
I'm a guest on your show.
Yeah.
Like y'all are like really like bearers of like culture, like moving forward. And like that's what's like it, you know, I study culture. And it's important because like there are people who purport or like posit that like we care about our culture and they don't. Or like they're like very like they're like clearly who they're clearly not who they say they are.
Yeah.
And like that's why I think that's why y'all are successful, because people, you can tell since you've been a kid, like someone walks in a room, a classroom, whatever, you can tell being like, this person doesn't care about me. This person is like fake. Like you can like sense that. And like it's clear that like y'all, like one of my favorite things about the podcast is like how open y'all are with like not knowing things and learning in like real time. Like that's really important, particularly from a place like we're from, which I think can be like very set in its ways. Like y'all aren't super like preachy, like you need to think this. It's like, hey, like we're learning. Here's some thoughts. We're gonna bring on guests who have opinions, and we're gonna like learn in real time. And that's like super important. I remember there was a podcast. I don't remember what it was or what happened. You said something. You I don't remember what it was. You said something, and you were like, "Yo, you shouldn't say that." And you were like, why? And you were like, well, because blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is beautiful because like it's really brave and vulnerable. And like that happens all the time with everyone, but particularly from people from here, from the Inland Empire. And it's like, y'all are like examples for people where it's like, oh, I don't have to be this super serious person to like take things seriously, to learn about shit, to like be a good person in my community and to have fun.
Yeah.
Like you can do all these things at once.
Yeah. And I definitely just told her that. We talked about that. I was like, I love that you're just so like exactly what you're thinking. You just say it and you're like very confident in what you're saying. And I feel like maybe I come off like that, but I'm always overthinking it in my head. Like I'm like, I shouldn't say that, or this is going to come off wrong, or they're not going to like if I say it like that. So I've always loved that about Vanessa, that she's just very like, this is what I'm thinking, bitch, and whether you like it or you don't. And I love that. But also I think too, what you're saying is really special because I feel like part of the reason that I wanted to do the podcast was because I love admiring people, and I feel like that's why I stalk people on the internet, because I love watching people do incredible things. So I always felt like that's what the podcast was. Like I didn't mind that I wasn't like super educated or whatever, because I was like, we're gonna bring on people that are, and they're gonna have so much to share.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, you're the best. He is the best fan we've ever had.
Literally. I love all of y'all, you know, but it's
for
obviously
real.
different sitting actually with a fan and having a conversation. Not just like a quick interaction, you know, it's you do connect deeper.
For sure. And the fact that you have like so many like details of the past app, because I feel like my brain erases like every day.
It's so hard for me to I try to rewatch episodes.
I was gonna ask, do you I was gonna ask if you rewatch episodes, or like do you feel like you're better at it? Like how do you get better? Or how do you know that you're getting better? Do you think about that in terms of like, oh, like
I actually do. I'll sometimes go back to like the first ones we would do, and I definitely think you can tell that I was like even all of us, like we were kind of more nervous on how like the direction that it was gonna go. But I think now when I feel like that's how I learn more, that I'll go back and listen. I'm like the confidence I gain from hearing myself again, because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, you sounded so stupid. And then I'll go back and I'm like, hey, like,
That was good.
we low-key killed it. Like, we did a good job. And I'll kind of just take, like, whatever I feel I liked from that episode.
Personally, I used to rewatch, like, the whole episodes, but I don't do that anymore. I'll probably watch, like, the beginning, or, like, I'll skim through it. But for me, I feel like I look at the comments, and I made a point, I don't know if you remember, where I said, for the most part now, I feel like I've grown thicker skin in general, to, like, to be in this space. You know, we get hate at times, and in the beginning it was very hard to deal with the hate, because, you know, you're just open to judgment. Anyone can make an opinion about you. But I noticed that I only get triggered by things that I feel like are true. So one of the biggest things for me was like interrupting, and I would hate when people would be like, fucking bitch, like stop interrupting, like you're fucking annoying, you know, shit like that. And like that's an example. I was like, okay, I do need to work on this because it's bothering me, because I know it's true, because I do know that I interrupt, I do know that I cut people off and things like that. And like, so I've worked on that, you know. So I try to, like, if I read a comment and I feel like I feel some type of way, if it resonates, I'm like, okay, is it something that I can work on? Is it something that I can improve on? I feel like that's probably the only way that I like try to grow. I don't know, we have meetings, we give each other feedback.
Yeah.
So
We've been getting a lot better at that too.
Yeah, so we I feel like we try to, like, kind of just uplift each other. But I think that, I mean, a lot of people do tell us that we should probably, like, be more like, educated about certain topics that we talk about.
Nah.
And I literally, look, I get people's points, but I feel like at the same time, people
It doesn't flow with us.
People forget we're an entertainment channel. I feel like if I were to classify us as something, it'd be entertainment, not educational.
Inland Entertainment.
Literally, it says it, Entertainment Network. Like, literally, it says it in our LC. And it's like, so we're entertainment, you know. And obviously, when we talk about certain things, we talk about it like, it's like if we're having a conversation with your best friend.
This is the Inland Empire version of TMZ.
Literally. So it's like sometimes we might be more knowledgeable on certain topics that we talk about, and sometimes we're just like trying to remember what the fuck we talked about, and we'll bring it up. And I feel like if there's a viewer watching this that, you know, maybe we said something that you were interested in, you want to know more about it, research it yourself, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, and not like in a rude way, but it's like, you know, you have Google, you have access to like learn about, if we mention something, they're like, oh, like, let me learn about it. Is this true? Is it not? Or you want to know more details or anything like that. Like, you can do that yourself.
Yeah, like, why do we have to sit here and tell you if it's something that's triggering your curiosity, then you look it up.
Look it up. Exactly. And it's like, I feel like it'd be different if we claimed to be like an educational channel. Like if we claimed to be here to educate you and share knowledge, that'd be completely different, of course. But we're not that.
And I would challenge that a little bit and say, like, I feel like y'all, it's educational in a sense that, like, y'all do get put on in real time.
Yeah.
There's like a braveness to that. Like, I've watched episodes where people are like, did you know about this? And you're like, actually, no. And it's like, that moment is really important because like having that happen in real time allows other people to be like, oh, I didn't know about this either.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like they can learn a lot. Like, it's an invitation for people, it's like, to learn. And especially when people are learning about things like identity, like around like race, sexuality, whatever, like there can be such a nervousness to be like, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Like, there's some shit you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
But like a lot of times it's like, how are you supposed to learn?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to be like, oh, I didn't know. Now I know. Like, and there's like a genuine like goodwill to that. But like, I love what you said, like the Inland Empire TMZ. Like, my friend was like, what are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about like DEI and like race? And I was like, I mean, yeah, but I hope not. I'm like, I don't like, that's not like, I do shit like that. I'm like, I want to talk about whatever.
Like, that's what you do on your day to day.
Yeah, it's like, we could talk about that, but it's like, I want to like, I'm on IE Besties.
Yeah,
like,
I just
what?
want to
like,
talk to the girls.
yeah.
Love that.
Chismeando. No, I do feel that, and I like that. I think if I wanted to have that kind of podcast, then that's the vibe I would have given off from the beginning.
Yeah.
But, and I like when I go listen back, I do kind of comment back, and I'm like, oh, I see it now. Like, I see what people mean when they're like, oh, low-key, I felt like I was talking to you, because even when I say something, I'm like, oh, I should have said this, or I was thinking,
I could have
this.
added that.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about the show, though, that people say that. I feel like my favorite comment that I've gotten about the show in general is that people say that when they're listening to it, they respond as if like they're there talking to us. And I love that. I love that so much, because I feel like that's the most entertaining thing a podcast can do, is to make the listener feel like they have something they want to say back. You know, like they're talking about something, whether it's funny, educational, or just like sad, whatever the topic may be, like that you feel like, okay, I have something that I want to contribute to this conversation, or it at least triggered something in you, or curiosity, or whatever, for you to like introspect, or, you know, add something, or maybe learn something, whatever. Yeah. So I love that. That's my favorite thing about the show.
I wanted to ask you, so do you feel like the show turned out to be like the vision you had for it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
I think my my vision was to have like a Latina representation in social media that's like super relatable to like how you say like the IE culture. And you guys have been killing it and like proud every day after every episode. I was literally just thinking about it today. I was like, yo, like, I'm so happy I chose you.
Yay! What an uplifting episode.
Like, even just like that, like at Me Too, the model is IE and Besties. Like the main, like the project manager, she says, she literally said, I want like a IE and Besties type vibe. And I was like,
yeah, that's right, baby, setting the bar.
I'm giddy right now.
I know, that's why I was like, this is such a, especially because, like I said, today's my day of like, I was like, today's day one. Like, today's where I make a change in myself and in everything. And I literally on the way I was telling Vanessa, so right now this is happening to me.
Yeah,
like, so much.
It's blowing up my head, y'all.
No, low key, yeah. Because I do try to, I feel like for a while I was really conceited, and then I kind of started toning that back because people were like, ew, bitch, you're conceited. So then I was like, man, I am. Like, maybe being conceited is like a negative thing. So then I kind of stopped that, and I feel like that's when I started being like, oh, calm down, or oh, stop this, or oh, you're too
you
loud.
Internalize that voice of people telling you like,
yeah,
stop being who you are.
Yeah. Definitely. So now I'm trying to go back to like being conceited, but not in a
bringing others down,
it's a fine line.
Narcissistic way.
It's a fine line between like ego and like confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that's something like, I feel like when I was younger, I was much more like loud and like just like a boy, just like being like, I'm gonna whatever. But like, I think like as you like age, hopefully it's like No, I really think highly of myself, and there's like
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. And it's really
Yeah.
easy. I can't imagine, particularly as young women, to like really internalize that, like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't think so highly of myself,
Yeah.
right? Like you talked about like body dysmorphia. Like these things are all linked, where it's like, oh, like maybe the vision I have for myself isn't what it is based on like other people, but like other people can't see what you see, and also other
Exactly.
people can't see what you see for yourself in the future.
Right.
And so it's hard, and like a lot of times like your security will make people insecure
Mm-hmm.
even when it has like nothing to do with them. And so like it's hard to try to be mindful of like, yo, like I want to be humble, I come from humble beginnings,
Mm-hmm.
and also being like, I like really love myself.
Yeah, and I know who I
and,
am.
and I know who
Yeah.
and like whenever, like if you know who you are for real, like if you start acting like you're not that person, it's gonna be bad for you.
Yeah.
Like you can't pretend.
Once
like,
you know, you can't go back.
You can't.
Mm-mm.
You can't.
And it's hard. I feel like it's even more exhausting just trying not to do the things that just come natural to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my biggest thing since I was little was obviously that I can't stop talking, but I talk really loud. And for a long time, people would shush me. And I fucking hate that. I think it wasn't you. I think it... Oh, yeah. We're going to bleep that out. But yeah, she shushed me once on the show, and I wanted to fucking sucker punch her so bad. I'm sorry, but yeah, so
much.
that was like huge for me. And now I'm like, dude, I'm just like, people are like, why are you yelling? And I'm like, I'm not yelling. This is how I talk. Like, everybody that knows me knows that this is how I talk. So don't fucking shush me, because I'm not gonna lower my voice. Like, this is just how I talk.
That's literally how
it literally like aches me to have to bring my voice down, because I don't notice it. Like, it's just natural. Obviously, I'm mindful. If I'm in a fucking library, I'm not gonna be like yelling.
Yeah.
But like, it is something that I'm like, you know what? I'm loud, and this is just how I am. And because Americans in general are loud, and I'm Latina, so this is just like, and that I discovered one time when I was on a trip. I was in England, and English people talk really, really low. Like, they're very... Like, they talk like this on the train. And I was like, you know. And then they told me, they're like, you're American. And I was like, yeah. But whenever someone says that, I'm like, no, like, I'm Latina. Like, I never say I'm American.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I'm also Latina. So that's where this comes from. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like, that makes sense. Yeah, Americans are loud. And I'm like, yeah, you see? Like, it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's America.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's America's fault.
Pretty much.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, why'd you write Karol G GQ?
Did you guys not see that?
Oh yeah.
They edit her. Okay, have you guys ever seen That's So Raven?
Let me look it
Yeah.
up.
Did you ever watch the episode where she's like modeling and they morph her body on the magazine? Okay, well, if y'all have seen That's So Raven, there is an episode that literally, this is exactly what's happening to Karol G. She was on the cover for GQ magazine. I think it was Mexico.
Yeah.
And they completely changed her face and her body to like this super hourglass, like very like Tim Burton style like cover. And they edit her face so bad. Yeah. And she like went off on them.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. And honestly, she looks worse.
That
Like
doesn't even look like her.
No, not even
Why
a
did
little
they do
bit.
this?
I have no idea. I don't even know if they've responded yet. I just know that she went off. She was very, very upset about it.
And like she has like a very round face.
Yeah.
And she's very open that she likes like her thickness and she likes the way her body is, and she's always been kind of like that. So them doing that, I feel like was like who the fuck approved that?
Didn't that happen with another artist too? That they edited Zendaya. Remember Zendaya?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Who, was it for GQ too? I don't remember for who it was.
I don't remember who it was for.
But
she
she came
came
out
with That's So Raven version.
Yeah, but she came out as well, like showing the original one, saying that she didn't.
Oh, like she came out with her own.
I think she posted the original one and said, "This is how I look."
body.
But yeah, that's insane. That's sad because I don't even like how she looks in the edited version.
Yeah, she looks,
so
weird.
bad.
Yeah,
she
she
looks
does.
like
Oh, look, this is the That's So Raven one. That's how she looked. And then obviously in the episode, that's how they edited her.
It's fucked up.
I love That's So Raven. I love that show because it has a lot of stuff that is, I think for its time was very, I guess would say like a controversial topic. Like, I don't know. I was a big Disney bitch.
I didn't grow up with cable. I watched That's So Raven in the past, but I like didn't
Oh,
watch
okay,
Disney,
okay. Yeah, like they had an episode too where she's like applying to a fashion store and they don't hire her and they hire Chelsea. And she has like a vision where like the like sales lady is like, oh yeah, like we don't hire people of color. And so like they had a lot of episodes like that
Okay.
I feel like the Disney just doesn't do it like that no more.
No, definitely not.
But shout out to Raven because I love that bitch, and I love that show. I was a Disney girl.
Yeah.
But also, I was a Cartoon Network girl. I just loved cartoon. I was a very like kids kid. Like I wasn't watching fucking 90210 when I was a little girl or like MTV.
I watched 90210 in high school, not when it aired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like that's not bad.
No, I loved it.
I was always just watching like novelas though because
Did you
what
see
was on?
The Zoe 101 drama where what's Zoe's best friend? Like she was treated poorly on set by like the cast and
Yeah.
that's why she doesn't want to do it.
But you know what? She's been saying that for a long time, and it's just because now child actors have been coming forward about their experiences. But that girl has been like fighting for that for a really long time because she was on Zoe 101 and everybody was like fucking mean to her and like bullied her. So she brought it to the producers' like attention. And I guess it got back to Britney Spears, and Britney Spears literally cornered her and like told her that she was like never gonna work again, and that's why they took her off the show. And she was like, dude, imagine like you being like your hero, like you're in a trailer with your hero and you think like, oh, she's gonna mediate this because her sister's being a little bitch. And then she literally tells you like that you're never gonna work again, that like you're just like causing drama. And I was like, that's crazy. But that shit's sad. Honestly, child actors are crazy.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it's only Disney. Like, why the fuck you guys still? Because like
it's also Nickelodeon too, though.
Oh yeah,
like, all the stuff with
Nickelodeon.
Jesse McCurdy,
Yeah. Like, who hires these people? Like now, when I look back, like even the Amanda Show, where there's like a video with like Amanda Bynes and like Dan Schneider in a hot tub. Like,
How old was she?
like 13.
13 years old. Yeah, something ridiculous. It's fucked up.
It's crazy.
Did you see that video? I saw it today this morning of like the Dalai Lama, like kissing this like young boy, and then like telling him to suck his tongue.
What?
And
Who?
he had the Dalai Lama,
Fuck is that?
like, and he had to like come out and apologize. Like, and like I saw it like I'm literally like at Target 8 a.m. like on Twitter, and I was like, what? Like, and it's just kind of like this shit is so pervasive throughout the whole world, where it's just like, yo, like this is like so like I can't even like it just like really like I can't even watch documentaries about shit like that.
Me
Like
either.
it really freaks me out. I'm like I can't do it. Like more than anything in the world, like that shit like really like will fuck me up.
No, literally, I agree. I feel like there's something. I feel like the worst thing ever is just children being abused in any kind of way. I can't see it on my feed. I can't see it in the news. I can't watch documentaries. Like there's so many documentaries on Netflix of like sex trafficking and stories of people like going through like severe abuse, and it just triggers the fuck out of me. Like and it just angers me so much that it's children.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're supposed to be protecting children. Like, I don't know if you've heard how in like other countries like Japan or other places like that, like what Switzerland I think was the other one, where you can leave a baby sleeping on their stroller outside of like a coffee shop. It's like normalized.
Denmark. It was either Denmark or Norway, I believe.
Somewhere over there.
Wow.
And literally it's so common over there to any place in the whole what is it, like a city, like a
Yeah, they like leave the babies outside
in the park, like anywhere. It's normal to leave your baby sleeping. Nobody kidnaps babies over there. It's like literally zero. Like that just doesn't happen because they believe. And also Japan, like if like as early as like 5 years old, you could send your son or daughter to go to the grocery store by themselves on the train.
If I see like a little kid walking around, I'm always like,
right here. But over there, it's normal because society sees children as like the most like defenseless and innocent, precious like creatures, and that they're not just cared for by parents. It like the whole statement like by the community. The children is everybody's kids, like everybody's. So everybody over there is like, okay, even though this child is not mine, like I have to take care of it like if it was mine. Yeah, that's kind of like the standard in their society over there, and it makes me so fucking sad that it's not that way here in America. I could never leave my son sleeping in the stroller out in the street and outside of a coffee shop in a park. I could never in a million years dream about sending Ezra. Even I have a store right down by my street that if I really wanted to, I could send him to. But I would never in a million years fucking do that. Not even when he's 10. Not even when he's 15, bitch. Like I'll let him fucking do that shit. Like it's just scary and it's sad and it pisses me off.
And it sucks because as a kid, you don't understand that. Especially as
Yes.
a girl. Like, I never, ever understood why I just couldn't go to sleepovers. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, what do you mean? Like, you know these people. Like, what do you mean I can't go?
But you don't know these people.
But
You
you
don't.
don't.
know
And you don't get
nobody.
that as a kid.
No,
you
you're
don't.
just like, fuck you, mom.
This is
Literally.
why one kid, because it's too much to worry about.
Yeah.
And you know the insane thing that I've been learning recently is that a lot of times too, me personally, I played mom and dad growing up. I don't know if that was your guys' experience as well. I played mom and dad growing up with my cousins, and it wasn't like some innocent mom and dad. No, like I have memory of elementary school doing some out of pocket shit with my cousins, girls and boys. I don't know where the fuck it started. I don't remember who introduced it to me. I don't remember like anything like that.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that I'm able to say that I don't feel like I was abused in any way.
Mhm.
At the time I enjoyed it. To me it was fun. But I have met people who do feel the opposite. They do feel like they were abused by other children sexually because of things that they were forced into doing by other children. Sometimes the same age, sometimes a year or two older, but still they were children, you know? And that also is scary too, you know, like I didn't even think of that as a possibility because like I said, like for me, my experience wasn't negative. And now I can look back and think that was obviously not fucking right, you know, but I don't have shame, you know, I don't struggle with it. But I'm meeting people that do struggle with feeling abused by other children. And that breaks my heart because I know those children were not being malicious. They were obviously learning that somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that is like another thing as a parent to worry about, you know, and sometimes it's not even adults. Sometimes it's children too that are being abused and doing things to other children. And it's like, fuck, like.
And it is kind of crazy, especially when you talk about cousins, because like the first time I ever, like someone showed me porn was because my cousins were watching it. And I'm like, why? Now that I think back, I'm like, why the fuck were you guys watching this? And why did you keep it on when I came in the room?
Yeah.
And then why did you show me? And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I think about it, and I think at the time I was like 7. But I never thought of it as something that was like
wrong,
traumatic to me. I knew it was wrong. I was just like, okay, well, just don't look at it.
Yeah.
Like that was my thought process. But now I process it, and I'm like, these fucking perverts, like, because they were older than me. They were like, you know, like 13, 14. And I didn't understand why my mom just like didn't let me hang out with them. And obviously she knew because adults, you know, for the most part, adults know shit, even when kids think that they don't. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that is so out of pocket. And the fact that like, because like now I look at my family, I'm like, you guys all knew that weird shit was going on and nobody said anything, you fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Like what, like that's weird.
It's crazy. Like you like when you get to an age where you're like, how did y'all let this happen?
Exactly.
Like with your family or with friends or whatever, where you're just like, how did y'all like be like, you know what I mean? Especially as you come into being an adult and you're like, just like life happens, but it's like that's not life shit. It's like yo, like how did you let this happen?
How do you live with yourself?
No, really. Like, and how do you guys all continuously talk to each other?
To talk. I become like, I don't know. I be cutting people off quick. If it's, I'm just like, I don't like, if it's like on some like moral shit, I'm like, I can't like, that's going to affect my spirit like way too much. Like if you like are acting like in a way that I think is like disgusting, it's like, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like literally not one person in my life that wouldn't be like, you do some crazy shit, like bye. Like, and I don't get how like people can be like, well, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
I used to fight with my dad because I would like tell him like, sorry to my cousins, but I would be like, your fucking brothers are pigs. And he would be like, you can't say that, they're your uncles. And I'm like, no, I can say that. Like, they're fucking pigs. But it was always like that struggle between me and my dad of like my dad consciously knowing, but also like kind of just keeping us apart while him still, because my dad like loved his family very, very, very much. So he wanted to kind of stay connected like with them, obviously. And it was understandable, but it was also like, and I would ask him, I'd be like, why don't you tell them anything? And And he's like, it's just not my life. And I think it was more than anything, he just didn't want to carry their problems.
Yeah, that's real.
But yeah, because once you speak something, you have to go through with it and you have to kind of like see it through, as opposed to like, you know what, like that's their fucking issues. I don't really want to like deal with that. And I understood that, but I did always kind of like, I don't go to like family parties or anything like that. And they didn't necessarily do anything to me. I'm just like, how the fuck can I look you in the face right now and you're like the most disgusting person I've ever met? Like, no, just because we're family and like that means nothing if you don't actually do anything morally correct.
Literally.
Shout out to my cousins because some of them watch it.
There's so much I want to say, but I'll just save it for the Patreon.
No, true. I might expose my whole family unless my cousin actually subscribed to it, because if you did,
so we're gonna save this tea for the Patreon because there's so much I want. Is there something you want to?
Can I plug Coachella stuff?
Yes, I totally forgot about that. Guys, Coachella's
Yes.
this weekend. Buy me a ticket.
Buy them a ticket.
Yes.
If you're going to Coachella, or if you know people who are going to Coachella, weekend 1, weekend 2, there's a space called the Everyone Space. I'm really fortunate to be a small part of the Everyone team. It's a team actually run by all women of color. But their physical space is at the festival. So there's an Everyone Space, a Q+ space for queer identifying individuals, an A+ space for folks with accessibility needs. And they're places where everyone can go and find community, drink water, get shade, have quiet. But we also have licensed clinicians at the festival who are going out into the field, into the festival to respond to people in crisis. If you're overdosing, if you're too drunk, if you unfortunately are assaulted, if you're going through whatever shit happens at a festival, there are people there to help you. There's a space to go to find reprieve and find care and find community. And I feel like not enough people know about it. It's a great initiative, and it's Coachella's inclusion and wellness initiative. I'm gonna be there helping out with the team. If you're at Coachella, it's gonna be it's on the website. It's on the official Instagram. It'll probably be in your like map or whatever package that you get. But it's there. Look it up. Come say hi. Yeah, and that's it.
Oh my god, that sounds sick.
Yeah, he
What
told
the
us before. I
heck?
completely forgot about it, dummy, and I wrote it down too.
No, it's okay. He was gonna talk about
Yeah.
it anyway. But dude, that's insane. What the heck? I love that.
Yeah, that's super awesome, because that's what I was telling them, that like I feel like people were like confused as to why I hated Besame Mucho so much, but it was because of that. Like there was no accessibility to water. There wasn't even accessibility to restrooms or food. So when he told us that, I was like, that's freaking amazing. Like,
Yeah. And also too, like I've gone to like raves, and the amount of time I've seen people like rolling, like,
Yeah.
or I've seen people like disoriented or like on the floor alone. Like people just walking past them and they're obviously in need of help.
yeah.
And no one did anything. I was like, what the hell? Like,
And like with stuff like that too, it's cool that like, you know, our viewers can know if they see someone that even if they don't know them, they can be
Yeah.
like, help.
Yeah.
and like take them to the tent, or
Yeah.
then just, you know, thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you for
So-
sharing that.
Look that up, guys. We're gonna link it either way, but well, I don't want to do these yet, but I do want to say thank you so much, Johnathon, for coming on. It has been literally a fucking blast. I cried for the first time.
And we're going to continue the party at the
Yes.
Patreon. So subscribe.
Oh, and here's a little snippet.
Thank you so much. Like, I never went back, bitch. And you know that's sad for him
He lost
because
the
he lost a
customer.
customer because his girlfriend was just being weird.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, bro, like this is a business. Like, why didn't
And
you
you
just
have to be, I'm sorry, you're selling product, you have to suck other people's dick.
right? And it's like, bro, why couldn't you just walk up and jump in the convo? Like, I don't know. It's just
She could have been like, oh my god, when he introduced me to this, I loved it. Like, oh my god, that's one of the
Yes.
best parts of like him is like he's so smart. You know, like
Yeah.
if you must
want
fucking
to.
piss, you know, at least piss directly. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like piss with aim. Like she just shit on him.
It was weird. Yeah.
What do y'all think, guys? What do
Toxic or
y'all
not
think?
toxic?
Did you see that? That was so cool. Go subscribe to the Patreon. But to our people that are already subscribed, we're going to do some shout outs to you guys.
Starting with Arleth Ornel. How do you say that?
Ornelas.
Ornelas. I was about to say Ornelas. I was like, I'm so sorry. Juliana Ballesteros. Oh my God, I'm butchering this today. Victoria Garcia. CS. I still don't know what your name is.
Oh, I know, dude.
Lucero Chavez. Denise Chavez. Laura Peña. Tatiana Michelle Long. Sam Montelongo, Robert, Naomi Maldonado Cuevas, Andrea Fernandez, Maria Felipe, Lorenzo Ortiz, Sandra Gonzalez, Karen Cespedes.
Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Tell your friends, tell your moms, tell everybody if you guys want to see more exclusive content on Patreon. It will be linked. So check that out.
We are about to eat some nasty ass fucking olives for every wrong question we answer. I'm not looking forward to it, but what I do for your entertainment.
Yes. John, I know you don't use social media, but do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, anything.
I want to plug IE and Besties, best podcast in the world. My podcast is at Jonathan. My podcast. All my handles on social media are the same. They're at Jonastuff, at JONANDSTUFF. I like to hide on there, but if you want to follow me, I post things every now and then I go back and hide. I want to plug the Everyone Space at Coachella. Yeah, and that's it. Stay blessed.
After being on the show, are you still a fan?
I want to do like yearly check-ins.
Oh my gosh,
Hell
love.
yeah.
I know. I was thinking that on the way over here. I was like, imagine he like fucking hates us after. Like he's like, man, they suck.
He's like, you know that saying, never meet your heroes.
never meet your hero.
Like,
No,
don't do it.
this was beautiful.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
I
much for
appreciate it.
coming on, and thank you, besties, for watching. If you made it all the way through, let us know what you guys liked, what you didn't like. If we should bring John on again, if we should bring y'all on, and why. So drop your resumes. I don't think it's gonna match. Nah, I'm just kidding. Love you guys. Love you so much. Bye.